there, welcome to my art studio. It's lovely to have you here. Today we are talking about all things brushes, because I don't know about you, but when I first started painting, when I would go to the art store to get a brush, I would just be met with a wall of different brushes, all different sizes, shapes, and honestly it's overwhelming. And so if you've ever felt like this before, do not worry, because this video is going to be amazing for you. We're going to go into each brush shape, what it's used for, how to use it, how to hold your brushes, how much paint to use, how much water to add, all those different things to do with brush techniques. And at the end, we are going to also do a little fun practice session with some of our paintbrushes. So these are free downloads that you can get in the description box. Plus, I've written an ebook to really help you with that overwhelm, and we've gone through each of the brushes in there. So I'll pop that link in the description box. It's completely free, and it will really help you to get to grips with feeling more confident about which brush to choose. So let's dive in and have a look at some of the most common brush shapes. You don't need loads of brushes, but you do need to choose your brushes with intention. Now, in terms of size, try using a slightly bigger brush than feels comfortable. This will actually help you loosen up as a painter, and it will stop you from overworking your paintings. Now, a round brush is the most common. It's the one that you often see. It's really great for tapered strokes, lines, and it has a tip that you can use for details and dots as well. You can get thin and thick strokes just by changing that pressure. Now, it's easy to settle for the round brush because it's the most common, but it also comes with its limitations as well. If you want a very painterly, expressive painting, you're really going to like the next two brushes. A Filbert brush has a rounded edge, but essentially it's still flat. Now, this means that you have a lot of options when it comes to paint strokes. This is perfect for those softer shapes like petals and leaves. It gives you a very natural looking soft finish to the brush strokes. And what's really nice is that you can press on the flat side for a wide stroke, but then you can also use it on its side or its tip for a thinner stroke. So there's really a lot of versatility with this brush, which makes it a great option if you want to paint expressive or impressionistic paintings. Now, these types of brushes are often used with acrylics and very popular with oil paints too. A flat brush has a straight edge and defined corners, and it's really great for bold brush strokes, bold edges, and blocking in really strong shapes. It can feel a bit more structured. And honestly, it took me a really long time to try this brush because I kind of thought, well, I don't want squares, but now it is my most used brush for impressionistic florals and seascapes as well. Next, we have a fan brush, and this is really great for texture. You don't want to be putting on your first layers with this brush. This is more of a detail brush, adding things like grass or foliage, or it's really great for fur on animals as well. Now, it's not an essential brush, but it is nice to experiment with. So make sure to practice a lot in your sketchbook before going into a painting with this brush as well. It takes a bit of time to get used to. Now, these are also very popular with the oil painting community as well. And then we have a small detail brush, which is useful for very tiny areas of details, perhaps stars or little highlights. But really, I only use this one just for signing my artworks. Now, for acrylics, a medium firmness brush usually works the best. If it's too soft, it won't move the paint around. And if it's too stiff, it can feel a bit scratchy. Next, let's chat about how to hold your brush. There are two main ways that I like to use. Holding it kind of like a pen further down the body gives you more control. This is really useful for detail and smaller areas. Whereas if you hold it further back upwards towards the end of the handle, it actually gives you less control, which can sometimes be a good thing because it gives you more freedom and your brush strokes will feel looser, more natural, energetic and expressive. So it's not about one being better than the other, it's just about control versus lack of control and how to use both of those elements in an intuitive way. Next, let's talk about how much water or how much paint to add. This is a really big one with acrylics, especially if you're used to watercolors. If you don't use enough water, the paint can feel really thick and just drag across the surface. But if you use too much, it can become too watery and can drip and look very patchy. We're looking for the middle ground where the paint flows easily, but it still holds its shape. And it's important to use a fair bit of paint too with acrylics. You know, these are not watercolours, so don't be afraid to use up your tubes and use your paints. That is what they're there for. And finally, and probably the most important one, when you're actually painting, there's this huge pull to just paint back and forth with a back and forth motion. But we really want to try not to just overblend or just go back and forth with our brush strokes, because this essentially deletes the brush stroke itself. Instead, we want to think about placing one stroke at a time with intention, and that way you can see those clearly defined edges from your brush stroke. So you want to load your brush, make the brush stroke, and then leave it and set back. And this might feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, but this is where those confident, expressive, painterly brush strokes come from. And if you want to practice your brush strokes and gain more confidence with this, I've created some really fun printable practice sheets that you can just print off and paint directly over them and really get a feel for those different brushes and different brush strokes. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. It's completely free. Give them a try and just feel your confidence grow next time you come to paint. You might be really surprised at how natural and quickly things start to click. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching that video and it's given you a bit more confidence to experiment with some of those brush techniques and different shapes that you might not have tried yet. Let me know in the comment section which is your favourite brush shape. What is your go-to that you feel most confident with? But also do not forget to download the freebie in the description box, the Brush Up Your Skills ebook. This is really just designed to give you a really good overview of each of the brushes and give you more confidence, and there's also some really helpful tips in there, things I've just picked up along the way, and also your practice sheets to have a little go at practice some of those brush strokes that I showed in the video as well, because sometimes all it is practicing the right things in the right order. So I really hope that you enjoyed that video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when my next video uploads, and I'll see you there. Bye!